everyone, glad you're here. Welcome back. My name is Dina-Rosa and I play the clarinet. Today we'll be talking about how to put the clarinet in your mouth and how to assemble what's called an embouchure, so basically the muscles forming around the mouthpiece. And we'll be talking about your air because your air support is going to help like 95% of your problems, so stick around and enjoy. When discussing our embouchure, there's a few points that I like to hit. One is that your chin is really flat like a table, and pretend that someone's like pulling down on your chin, and that really helps. It's like you're smiling and then you're kind of just tucking that bottom lip over your bottom teeth. So smile and then tuck like that. And then the second point I like to hit is thinking about the corners of your mouth. That's like the most important thing. Your muscles grow over time, but that's like a super important thing because you don't want your cheeks puffing out. That is the number one thing we do not want to happen. So in order to have that not happen, we want to think about the corners of our mouth pushing into the mouthpiece like that. I know I look a little stupid doing this, but basically you want your embouchure to look like that. I have like dimples, so if you have dimples, then that's good because those would show. And then the third point I like to hit is making sure that your throat is nice and open. So a little thing that I like to think about is pretending you have an egg in your mouth, and it kind of like lifts your tongue up, which is what we want. We want your tongue high in your mouth, high in the back, and then we want your throat to be nice and open. A syllable I like to use is ew, like that. I know, like really dumb, but anyways, I hope I get the point across. So those are just a few things I like to think about. First things first, I want to talk about this little thing. This is called cigarette paper. Don't worry, I'm not smoking it or anything. Basically, musicians use this to clog out some keys that get spit in it. You usually see a lot of woodwind players do that. And then I also use it for my bottom teeth because my gums can get like really inflamed and kind of calloused. So I like to fold it, like it molds kind of onto your bottom teeth like that, and it really protects your gums and is super helpful. Alright, so just for this video only, we're only going to work with the mouthpiece, the reed, the ligature, and the barrel. And I only played with these two little things for like the first week or two of me playing clarinet because you don't have to think about your fingers and a lot of other mechanical bits. You just focus on your air and forming your mouth around the mouthpiece, and I recommend doing the same. Here's a nice close-up for you. You can see from each side that my corners are nice and tucked in and my chin is nice and flat. I thought it would be helpful to include the wrong way to breathe and the right way to breathe. So you saw there how it was wrong that I was laying back in my chair, and it's also wrong to breathe from your chest and having your shoulders shrug up to your ears. So this is the right way to do it. You want to be breathing from your diaphragm, and every time you breathe in, your stomach goes out, and every time you push that air out, your stomach goes back in. Okay, so now that we've got all that covered, we're gonna stick this back on your clarinet. Carefully. All right, cool. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is finding the sweet spot on your clarinet, or on your mouthpiece. So basically, as you can see here, you can kind of see where my top teeth rest on the mouthpiece because I have a mouthpiece cover, and I'll link that below. So basically, this is what it looks like for me. Like some people have like different embouchures, but this is what it looks like for me. So basically, you want to experiment. So when you put your clarinet in your mouth for the first time, it might sound like this, or it might sound like this. You don't want it to sound like either of those or not. So basically, I found the sweet spot. So just experiment. Experimenting is your best friend, and yeah. Alright, one more thing before I go. I want to talk about something called long tones. So this can really help your air and your embouchure and just warming you up. Like if you're a runner or something, like you gotta stretch beforehand in order to do the big fun stuff. So I use 3 main scale books, and there's lots of different ways you can incorporate those scales into your long tones, like chromatic stuff, and it's just really fun to experiment. So I use the Crutch, I use the Behrman, and I also use the Stevenard. So they're not the most fun thing to do, but you gotta build up your fundamentals in order to play those fun concertos or play even those fun parts in band or orchestra. So if you want me to do an example of long tones that I do every day to warm up, just let me know. Thank you so much for watching my video on your fundamental air and embouchure stuff. In my next video, I'll be talking about your hand position and your posture. So I know this is a lot of basic stuff, but it's really gonna help you do this fun stuff in a few weeks or a few months from now. And every single professional musician are still working on these basic things. So keep it up, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye.